What does Olapic actually do to turn Instagram snaps into commerce?
So what we're doing is helping brands to tap into the content that is related to their brand. So there's an immense amount of content, identify it, curate it, and link it to products, and then put it where it matters most to the brand, which is in their e-commerce experience.
Online retail is already a huge area, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going on there, we're buying lots of different things, and typically, we see a photo and we see a description. How does UGC really play into that?
You as a shopper, whenever you're in your favorite online store and you're going to buy that jacket, you know that the photo that, the model wearing that jacket, it's been photoshopped, it's a model.
Yeah.
And then if you can see like real people next to it wearing that same jacket that they're on the streets, it gives you more information. I think it's powerful. That is, that you as a consumer are able to shop a little bit more like in real life when you're seeing people around you and getting inspired by others. Okay. And what we've proven is that with this simple concept in the end that we call visual commerce is that you increase conversion. Shoppers at the end are happier because they make better decisions. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what the hashtag means these days? Because, it was just almost like an accident, right? Mm-hmm. The way it was started on Twitter. Yeah. They were like, well, what should we use to kind of connect conversations? Mm-hmm. So it's become this powerful tool. Mm-hmm. What does it mean for marketers?
Sometimes what we see with the brands that we're working with is that most of the hashtags that they're using, they're created by the consumer, and then the brand actually jumps in because it's about them and they amplify it. Right. But it's a super powerful way to get the conversation going, so it doesn't get disseminated in the river of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, but you can actually search that content.
And are you just looking at Instagram for images? Are you also looking at Facebook and Twitter?
Yeah. The visual web is not only Instagram, even though we find that Instagram is the most powerful social media network out there, because the engagement that it has, being mobile and visual at the same time, is through the roof. It's almost like 20 times more engaging than Facebook.
Tell me about the start then. You're three Spanish business students in New York. Yeah. You met there, is that right?
Yeah, we met there in a room pretty much like this.
Yeah. So tell me how that happened. How do you go to New York and end up starting a company with two of your countrymen?
So we came for different reasons to the MBA at Columbia, and the thing is, I think the three of us, even though we're very different, we all had the bug that we really wanted to start something.
Right. Okay.
So that's when we saw the visual web picking up, Instagram starting, Tumblr, and in our lives, like we were communicating with photos, even with our families when we were in New York. Yeah. So we were like, okay, why, if consumers are doing this, why brands are not tapping into it? And that's when Pau and Luis are amazing engineers, and we actually, instead of only talking about it, we started building it.
Okay. If you're pioneering the space, what stops another company or Google from to say, hey, that looks great, we'll do that, we'll invest tons? What is it about Olapic that differentiates you, that makes you feel that you're going to be the one who has success with this idea?
Like if you're the only company, only person pursuing an idea, it means that that probably it's not big enough or is not the right one. We've invested a lot in machine learning to actually identify which photos are the ones that they're converting the most, and we've invested a lot in getting deeper into e-commerce, so we can actually track all the way to conversion. Any other company can start and compete with us. The thing is, like, we are better because we're ahead and we're fast and we're building product faster, I guess.
Okay. You've come from New York to set up the office in Soho to sort of reach out to brands across Europe. Tell me why you did that so early, because you did it fairly early on. What was the draw to set up a London office?
Like when we decided that we were moving to London, we were about 55, 60 people in the company. And we started partnering, I think last year was like 113 brands. And our investors and our advisors, they were telling us, like, focus on the US, because the US is an amazing market that has a lot of brands. And we're like, okay, we're three Spaniards that we are well traveled and we've seen the world. And it's like the world is bigger than just the US, even though it's an amazing market, amazing brands. But like, why not moving here? And
And how receptive are brands here? I mean, U.S. tends to be a place where they embrace like a crazy idea. Sometimes a little bit easier. Are you finding any more resistance?
Not really. Like
No.
what we're seeing is that at least the UK, it's fairly advanced in how they're seeing e-commerce. They're super advanced. In social, they're a little bit more like hesitant to do stuff. But so far, it's gotten easier.
It's interesting because obviously you're connecting something that's given away for free to something where there's a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you create value for yourself? How do you make money?
And what we charge is a year licensing fee to the brands,
Right.
so they can use the technology as a license.
Yeah.
And then we have a performance fee because we can actually see what's the increase in conversion.
Wow.
We can get a small cut of the uplift that we generate. So only on the value that we generate.
That's a Lucas move. That's like a George Lucas move. He did that with Star Wars.